To Philly Sports Unfiltered. Guys, in today's video, we are talking some Tyrese Maxey. We are putting on our GM caps and we are looking at what could be some potential trades involving Tyrese Maxey. So I want to jump straight into today's video. So in my last video, I proposed a potential trade that the Sixers could make to obtain Kevin Durant. And there was a lot of reaction to that video. Some people were Tyrese Maxey diehards, just saying, look, I'm not trading Tyrese Maxey for my mama. Other people are saying, look, you're crazy. You have a chance to get KD. He's a Hall of Famer. He's one of the top players to ever do it. You have a chance to get him. We're on the path to a championship. You have to pull that trigger. Now, I want to say before we jump into these trades, Tyrese Maxey is hands down my favorite player on the Sixers. I think right now he's my favorite player in the NBA. I love this kid. I do think that he has superstar potential. I really love him, but there's a chance that he does get traded. The Sixers are still looking to improve the team. I believe that they're focusing right now on a shorter window for a championship. They're looking at Harden and they're looking at Embiid. And if we're being honest, Tyrese Maxey is the only trade chip that we have. So there is a chance that this guy gets moved. I think most of us hope that he doesn't. But there's a chance. So I want to look at what could be some realistic Tyrese Maxey trades. Now, this is the trade that I proposed in my last video if you guys didn't see it. Basically, Sixers getting Kevin Durant and Seth Curry. We're sending out Tobias Harris, Matisse Thybulle, Tyrese Maxey, and the 2029 first round pick. Not going to spend too much time on this one because I have another video covering it. But in short, I would do this deal because Kevin Durant is still that good. Say what you want about how he performed last year in the playoffs. KD is one of the greatest players of all time. He's an alpha dog scorer. He can control the pace in the playoffs, and he makes us a better team overnight and puts us right smack in the middle of that championship window. I'm doing this deal. It's a gut-wrenching, but I'm pulling the trigger. That's just me. Now, the next deal that I want to look at that I think is actually realistic is a Donovan Mitchell trade. And a lot of teams have been contacting the Utah Jazz about Donovan Mitchell because it seems like the Utah Jazz are trying to blow it up. Now, the Utah Jazz GM said that they have no plans to trade Donovan Mitchell, but he said in the same statement that he's not untouchable. That's GM speak for we're open to trading him, but we're not going to accept low value. So I put together this trade. Basically, the Sixers would get Donovan Mitchell, they would get Jordan Clarkson, and the Utah Jazz would get Tobias Harris, Matisse Thybulle, Tyrese Maxey, and Sixers 2029 first round pick. For me, personally, I really like Donovan Mitchell a lot. I think that he's a good player. I think that he's a better player right now than Tyrese Maxey. But I actually think that Tyrese Maxey has a higher ceiling than Donovan Mitchell. And I think that probably Tyrese Maxey could get to Donovan Mitchell's level this season, if not this season, the next season. So for me, I'm going to have to take a pass. I think Jordan Clarkson would be a really good backup point guard. He would actually be a really good addition to the team, and he would improve us a lot. But I think that Donovan Mitchell and Tyrese Maxey, they're just too similar in size and in their game. And I wouldn't do this deal. I just think that Tyrese has a chance to really surpass Donovan Mitchell. So for me, it's an interesting deal. I think it's something that the Sixers would probably consider. I wouldn't be surprised if they did a deal like this, but for me, I'm going to have to take a pass on this one. But what say you? If you were proposed with this deal, if you're Sixers GM, are you taking this deal? For me, it's a no. Next deal that I actually do think is another realistic trade is a Kyrie Irving deal. I think the league has the Nets over a barrel. I think the Nets are in a really tough position. They have a lot of players that they have to try to move on for. And I think this is what a Kyrie Irving deal would look like. Sixers get Kyrie Irving and Seth Curry. And the Nets would get Tobias Harris, Furkan Korkmaz, and Tyrese Maxey. No 2029 first round pick involved in this deal. I do think that the Nets would jump all over this deal. I think the Nets would take this deal in a heartbeat. I think the Nets are in love with Tyrese Maxey. I think they want to build around him. I think that the Nets would try to make this deal. That's me personally. For me, I'm not going to do this deal. Kyrie Irving, I do think that he's still a really good player. I think he's better than James Harden at the moment. I still think that he can be a number one scoring option. I think he can control the pace in the game in the playoffs. But Kyrie Irving is just too unreliable. You just cannot calculate what you're going to get from him, how he's going to feel, if he's going to feel happy in your franchise. Is he going to be committed? There's just way too many unknowns. And the prospect of what Tyrese Maxey can be, it is just too strong to do this deal. So if I'm Sixers GM, I'm going to give this a big no. Not doing it. But what say you for this deal? All right, now I want to get into a couple other deals that cannot be made this year. But these are some players that the Sixers have been linked to. Now, there is an NBA rule that when you sign a new max extension, you cannot be traded in the first year. So Bradley Beal, as this vested veteran, he cannot be traded this year because he just signed a new deal. Now, Bradley Beal has been linked to the Sixers for years, okay? And so I just want to show you the side-by-side between Bradley Beal and Tyrese Maxey. Now, I can't really lay out what the details of this deal would be because he's not able to be traded this year, and who knows what rosters would look like last year. But let's just say main trade chips, you're trading Tyrese Maxey for Bradley Beal. Would you do it? I'm going to jump in and I'm going to immediately say no. In my opinion, Tyrese Maxey this coming season, I believe, is probably going to already be a better player than Bradley Beal. I think Bradley Beal is pretty overrated. I mean, look, he shot 30% from three last year. Maxey shot 42.7% from three. I mean, they have a very similar efficiency rating. And across the board, you know, Bradley Beal is on a really bad team, so of course he's scoring more points. But I just think that Bradley Beal is really overrated. I question his 1-2. I see a lot of quit in him when things aren't going well. For me, it's just kind of a really classic good player on a bad team, and it just sort of inflates the reality of what he is, okay? So for me, there's 0% chance that I would ever trade Tyrese Maxey for Bradley Beal. I just don't think that Bradley Beal is good enough. I don't think that he has the right attitude. I think he quits too much. I don't think he's a good enough shooter. That's it. So for me, it's a hard no. Now, another player. So the Sixers were linked last year to the Boston Celtics for a big deal. The Celtics were considering breaking up Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Now, likely it was going to be Jaylen Brown that they were going to move on for, but there was some talks about getting rid of one of them. Now, I don't think that the Celtics would do this deal. I think that the Celtics are in love with Jayson Tatum. I don't think that they move him, even if we would offer Tyrese Maxey. But if this deal was on the table, this is probably one of the few players in the league I think I would pull the trigger on. And it's just Jayson Tatum. I mean, he's 6'8". He's incredibly efficient. He can be really clutch in the moment. He can score. I mean, he can just really do a little bit of everything. And he's somebody that I see getting better, on a yearly basis. Tyrese, I mean, you look at his stats right now, you love everything that you see, but the only thing is his size is, he's a little bit small to really be a super elite two-way player in the NBA. So if this was on the table, Jayson Tatum was being offered, I think I would pull the trigger on this. So for me, just to give you a rundown, for all these proposed trades, I'm saying yes on KD. I'm saying no on Donovan Mitchell. I'm saying hard no on Kyrie Irving, hard no on Bradley Beal, and Jayson Tatum. I think I would do that deal. But what say you guys? Are you guys in on any of these deals? Let me know in the comment section below which of these players you would be in on and which players you would not be in on. And I also want to ask you, do you have a better deal in mind? Let me know in the comment section below if you have any other big brain trades. In the last video, we had a couple interesting trade ideas, so I want to see what you guys are getting into. Okay, guys, that's all I got for this video. For tomorrow's video, I'm going to be getting back into Sixers Summer League, and I'm just going to give you a breakdown of who I thought has really stood out in this year's Summer League and who I think has flamed out. So you guys can catch me in that one tomorrow. That's all I got for this video. Until next time, guys, go Sixers.